members of the public, members of the press. Lisa, are we underway? Okay. Councillor Truman, could I ask you to give us a blessing for the day, please? Thank you.
I te atua kaharawa ki a tata mai koe ki a mātou I tēnei rā. Manaki te a mātou mahi katoa, I rongo I te ingoa, o te matua, o te tama, o te wairua tapu, ake ake, amene.
Thank you, Councillor Truman. Apologies. We hear from Councillor Park, Councillor Cousins. Can I have a mover, please, for those? Moved by Councillor Brodie, seconded by Councillor Jollins. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 1, confirmation of the council meeting on the 26th of April. If I could have any matters arising from those minutes, or any typos or any amendments to those minutes, please. That being the case, could I have a mover for those minutes to be accepted, please? Thank you, Councillor Stewart, seconded by Councillor Williamson. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item number 2, Turangi-Tongariro Community Board meeting, 12th of, we'll go to the first ones, 12th of April. Any questions or queries of those minutes? The 10th of May. Any questions or queries of those minutes? And also the Mangakino-Pouakani representative group. Any questions and queries of those? No matters arising? Okay, I'll move those on block. Thank you, Councillor Jollins, seconded by Councillor Krastowski. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 3, receipt of the minutes, Waikato Plan Joint Committee and the Lake Taupo Protection Trust Project Joint Committee.
Through the Chair.
Councillor Williamson.
Page bar 3, one just spelling of Councillor A. Parks.
3 bar 1.
Just the spelling of the name.
Okay. Cool. Any questions or queries?
Chairman, I just have a query in regards of your attendance at these meetings. Since it was decided to make the mayor of these councils the delegate, with a substitute of course, how many meetings have you actually been able to go to, or has...
Most of them bar 1.
Most of them bar 1, yes. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Any other questions or queries? Any matters arising from those minutes? So the Project Joint Committee as well? Okay, Councillor Stewart has moved it, seconded by Councillor Williamson. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 4, sculpture proposal, Tri-Vented. Who's presenting this one?
I'll present it. So,
Mr. Ridd.
This is an item that presents a proposal from Mr. Richard Hoadley for this sculpture to be located in Seacombe Park. Mr. Hoadley offers his apologies. He's in Australia. From my understanding, he was going to present this item, so I'll try my best with any questions you've got.
Okay. Right, is that the picture of it, is it? Yeah. Okay. My question, Mr. Ridd, obviously we have a sculpture trust in town. Has this been run past the Sculpture Trust, or
I'm not
has
aware
it got any approval from them? Or
no, it's not. No, it's not had approval from.
It's a separate application, is it?
Separate application. Yeah.
Would it not?
I haven't been consulted either. No.
And Your Worship, I see that if we do approve it, it's got to come out of the 16-17 financial year.
Yeah, that's correct.
Chairman, could I just ask the question on that 16?
Councillor Brodie.
17 year. It just might be the way I'm reading it. Approves 50% funding to a maximum of $2,000. So the total sculpture is going to be $4,000.
That's correct. Yeah, the shortfall will be covered by Mr. Hoadley.
Thank you.
I think that's highlighted in the financial section.
Councillors, have you queries? Councillor Krastowski.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions. Number one is that presumably that would be that the $2,000 that he's seeking would then come out of the sculpture fund of $25,000.
That's correct.
And secondly, did he provide a rationale as to the location of where he's proposing to site it?
It was no, there was no rationale. There was the question was asked, could it be located in Seacombe Park, and I suggested that location because it used to have a tree in there, so it sort of fits the sculpture quite nicely. But yeah, there was no rationale behind the location that I could understand.
Because if it was for the benefit of the community, most of the community would be using the walkway, the Lions Walk if you like, as to the cyclist, whereas at that location there, you certainly, it's only that the cars that go down there that would see it.
Any other questions or queries? Councillor Boddy.
Once again, to help me out, if we go to 4(2), we've established that the total cost is 4180, and it states the council funding would be $1,000, but we've been asked for 2,000. Am I reading this wrong?
Yeah, you're reading it wrong.
I'm reading it wrong. Okay, thank you.
So, do you want clarity on that? So $1,000 came from there was $1,000 I think from Creative New Zealand. So that wasn't approved, but it was based on council providing some funding.
Yes.
And the funding being requested there is 50% of the costs, which is $20.90, and the shortfall will be funded by the applicant. So my maths is terrible, but I imagine there's about $1,000 would be covered by the applicant.
Okay, so effectively the 2,000 we were talking about, the council part of that's Creative New Zealand.
Right.
Oh, Creative Taupo, sorry.
No. $2,000 from next year's public art budget. $1,000 has come from external funding, leaving a shortfall which will be covered by the applicant.
Thank you.
Through your worship.
Councillor Williamson.
Under the risks, it mentions that signage will indicate the object is a sculpture and not play equipment. Presumably it means it can be climbed on or used as a potentially like the big bike, for example.
There's
So
always a risk there with sculpture.
So the signage obviously will mitigate any risk around new health and safety policy with as far as district council is concerned.
That's the intent.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Wood, we have the Sculpture Trust in town. Would it not be prudent to, who specialise in these sorts of things, would it not be prudent to run this particular application past them to see for their support, or is that?
I think it is always prudent, but that's your call, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. How do the councillors feel? Well, I'm just a little bit sort of, with the diagram.
Through the chair, I would
Councillor
agree.
Collins.
I would agree with the mayor on this one. I think if we could maybe approve it in principle, subject to the Sculpture Trust, because if we do give this money, then that's less money that they've got for the next financial year. So would that sit comfortably with everyone?
How does the other councillors feel? Councillor Harvey? The photograph, the diagram, or the sculpture, or the running it past the Sculpture Trust? So that's what I'm suggesting here, is to give it to the Sculpture Trust. Obviously you'll never get agreements on what it looks like and how beautiful it's going to be, but they're the ones that specialise. They have a makeup of various people on the trust. They specialise in these sorts of things, and I would suggest that we run it past them, get their approval, and then perhaps bring it back to the council.
I suggest then, Mr. Chairman, if we can work an agreement with that, we can just leave this on the table for the time being, and then we'll discuss it with Mr. Hoadley, ask him to go and consult with the trust, and then we can bring something back to a subsequent meeting after it's been done.
Councillor Hickling.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit like Councillor Harvey. I see the essence of this sculpture depicting the geothermal type concept. And Seacombe Park there's sort of no geothermal in that area, and I would have thought it would have been better where the geothermal is. I just have some difficulty in just assessing this particular piece of sculpture in that position. That's just how I feel.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to raise the question in regards of the sculptural trusts and sculptures generally in the district. Is the sculpture trust the be-all and whatever you like to call it in regards to sculptures, or can Joe Bob Public, as Mr. Hoadley has come to us, do we have to refer to the sculptural trust? We either say we don't want it or we do.
You don't include it in your policy, so the sculpture trust is an independent trust. They've been appointed on there because of their skills, or they appoint themselves because of their skills. They haven't got an exclusive right to the council money, so anybody can apply for that. What you as a council traditionally have said, though, is that you're not in the business of approving what's good or bad art, because that's beauty in the eye of the beholder. So I guess the suggestion here from the Mayor is that if we go back to the Sculpture Trust, who are the recognised group of what's good or what's bad, at least they would be advising you if it is the right thing in the right location. The alternative is that you decline it today or you approve it today. So that'd be sort of the three options.
That would be the one I'd like to go with.
Which one?
We could hold it.
Or you could hold it subject to.
So my suggestion is to hold it subject to consultation with the Sculpture Trust. They can still say yay or nay, and we still come back.
It would still come back to you. So you still have the final decision, even if they say no. You still hold that decision, but you at least then know what they think when you're making that decision.
Okay, so we'll just hold it there at the moment.